Hello, Viking fans. Welcome to this week's edition of Viking Talk with Josh Morgan. I'm Brandon Davis, and as always, glad to have with me Warren Central head football coach Josh Morgan. Coach, great to see you.
You too, Brandon.
2 weeks ago, we took a very tough 34-24 loss to Madison Central. Had a bye week since then, but you had a lot of time to look over the film. What did you learn in the film study from that game?
Well, I felt like, number one, we knew going in it was going to be a tough physical game, two teams that were a lot alike. I felt like their quarterback probably played his best game that he's played. He did a really good job with his legs and his arm, extending plays and really got them out of some jams. I felt like our D-line played exceptionally well coming out of the game. I felt like I was very pleased. If we could stop them in the run game the way we did, I think we had 6 or 7 sacks. Just really good effort there. They made some big plays in the passing game at crucial situations. They were very efficient. And like I said, quarterback did a good job making plays and taking care of the football. Our defense has been able to force people into turnovers and make those big plays, and we weren't able to do that. Offensively, I felt like we, I know it sounds strange, but we found kind of what we've been looking for in some areas with Michael Hall coming in and giving us some explosive plays on the perimeter and the deep balls. Caught a touchdown for us. Really good to see him emerge. Dropped a pass, another one that could have really got us a big chunk here, but to see him come on and really step his game up and to emerge was exciting. So a lot of pluses, a lot of negatives right there, but at the end of the day, we didn't do enough. I thought our 2 interceptions really put us in a bind defensively, and they scored 2 quick touchdowns right before half. We fought to the end, but those 2 turnovers were really tough on us.
Well, it was well documented and discussed. We had a very difficult non-region scheduled out in front of us. You closed out non-region play with 2-3 record. Obviously not the record that we had hoped for, but how do you feel this has made the team better now that you're going into region play?
Well, survive, number one. Compete is and our guys did that. I mean, we competed. We prepared well. We found out some things that we need to get better at for sure, and playing good people will always expose those things. I thought we got great experience. We need to be better in certain situations. But, I don't feel like we'll see anything that we haven't seen. From a physical level to a competitive level to a talent level, we've seen it. So those are going to be, that experience will be vital for us. Our guys responded, had a really good perspective going into it. Look, we go into these games expecting to win every one and wanting to win and fighting to win. And it's not like go out there and try your best and we'll see. We're fighting to win, but we also have a good culture around here and understanding, man, we're playing good people. This has no impact on what November and December will bring. Keep coming to work, keep getting better. But we were able to come out of it healthy. We were able to come out of it better. I think from week 1 to week 5, we were a better team. And we played some really good people, and I feel like we're going to be really good. And so it was a great experience. And now we go into district, and now this is where we have to be at our very best every Friday night, and we'll start that with Ridgeland, and we've got to come out of the gates fast and make sure we get a good start with them.
Well, we close out non-region play. Now we go into the new season, region play. We'll get to that in a second, but some very good news. I'm so glad for us to talk about Coach Lewis Green and our 8th grade Vikings. They beat Brandon Junior High last night, 26-7 to win the Little Six championship. Just a huge accomplishment for that bunch.
You talking about an accomplishment? That is quite the feat. Like that, the Little Six, which is not 6 teams anymore. It's 10.
Right.
And it's about as good as it gets. And our kids get a chance to compete at that from the 7th grade through the 9th grade. I think it prepares them very well. Those conferences, the teams that are in that are very, very good schools, have very good athletic programs, and when you're able to win it, you have done something, and it's a great feat, and they're hard to do. It's hard to accomplish, and so proud for Coach Green and his staff, Vic Tyrone, Charles Swartz, Eric Lawson, Gage Quimby. What a wonderful job, well deserving. So proud of our guys because, like I said, they didn't have an easy road. They come from behind, had an overtime win against Germantown, came from behind against Vicksburg to pull that out, and then really looked sharp against Brandon to win the whole thing. So how proud of us that we are of them and that they made our community because. We got out here and had a huge crowd, and you got to see that old Viking spirit come alive, and man, nothing but good stuff, and so happy for Coach Green.
Yeah, very exciting for those kids, for that coaching staff. Let's talk about our development program we have here at Warren Central. Of course, my son went through it, so I got to see it firsthand from a parent's perspective, but from junior high to the 9th grade, we have a process. It's a very good process. It's been good for you here at Warren Central.
No doubt about it, and coming in, when I first got the head coaching job, that was the main focus, was making sure we were building from the ground up. And good Lord blessed me with some great coaches and that just fit exactly what we were looking for and what we needed. Coach Green is built for what he does. And it's totally about the character of the kids, about being a Viking. It's about doing the right things the right way and let the ball handle itself. So we are so good, and I have, like you mentioned, Bo coming through our program, and now I've had 2 that's come through our junior high program, and I'm, as a parent, I'm so proud and thankful for them because you're talking about an early age where it really affects kids,
right.
And everybody's not full grown in the 8th and 7th grade. Everybody's not fully developed. Everybody, you got different kind of spectrum. Some people have been playing since they're in the 3rd grade. Some people haven't put on pads at all, and playing flag football. And then these coaches bring them all together, and they find a way to mesh them and compete again in the Little Six. So that the job that they do is not overlooked, and it's so hard of a job, and they do it so well. And it starts with Coach Green and his leadership down there, and I'm very thankful that he has coached my kids, and I'm very thankful that he is coaching with us and a part of it because he does a really good job.
Yeah, very thankful he coached my son. Just a heck of a person, individual. Just nice talking to him. NFL linebacker, you wouldn't know that just by his demeanor. Such a nice guy. But at that level, Coach, down at the junior high level, it's really more about teaching these kids how to play the game more than coaching, I would think.
No doubt about it. And that's the way that we approach it. We want to keep all involved. We want to keep all kids interested in it. We want to coach them all and still be able to compete. So it's absolutely teach them. Like I said, you're teaching them, number one is how to put pads on.
Right.
A lot of them. How to put pads on, how to buckle your chin strap, how to be a Viking. This is what we do culture-wise. We lean on in the high school. We lean on what's taught in the 7th grade. We wear our helmets, we buckle our helmets up, we do certain things, we have certain chants, we have certain ways we do things, right. And they get it as soon as they come in. So he's just a great team player, great establishment that he's got going on, and we benefit from the hard work that they put in down there. And, we lose some kids over time, and whether they want to go do something else or whatever, but, Coach Green takes that to heart. He'll go grab them out of classes and go try football and try this and encourage them because we know the positive impact that sports can have on people, and it's for their overall development and it's what's best for the kids. And so yeah, he goes and gets them. He's a hustler and does a really good job with it. So a lot of teaching going on, a lot of patience, and understanding, and so he's a perfect man for the job.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Coach Green. We'll hopefully try to get him on tomorrow night at our halftime show to talk to us about
awesome.
that. And this is Viking Talk, visiting with Josh Morgan. Coach, a new phase of the season. Got to get excited about it. Starting this Thursday night region play, we head over to Ridgeland. What can you tell us about the Titans?
Well, they've got an extra year under Coach McDaniel and his program. You're going to see that wing T offense and a really good defense. And they were young last year, and he was kind of starting his staff and his process, and they're a year into it. And you're going to get a disciplined football team, and you're going to get a team that wants to control the clock offensively and all the difficulties that a wing T brings with it. And you're going to see a team that plays really hard on the defensive side of the football and is going to be well coached. So we have a lot of respect for them, and we're going to have to be at our best. But it should be a really good environment.
You talked about the old school wing tee offense. Other than Coach Lance Musso down at Jeff Davis County, I think Todd McDaniel may be one of the best at teaching and running this wing tee offense, coaching the entire state. You've had success against this offense, though, when we've played it in the past and played against other schools that ran it. But from your perspective as a defensive coordinator, what makes it so hard to defend this type of offense?
Well, it's the formations that can dictate it. They can balance you up, then they can go overload, and they can unbalance, and they can do different things with that. And then it's something that you don't see every day. Number one, and I know it sounds crazy, a quarterback under center, fullback 3 yards behind him, and now you've got your motion, your quick motions that comes with that. And you know, your looks can be deceiving. It plays tricks with your eyes. It's got different motions that comes with it. But you have to be disciplined. It balances you up. You got different things that you do to different sides, and they can you know, manipulate it by formations in the wings. And you got to be really disciplined. You got to trust what you're doing is right. And the defensive guys have got to understand that to do their job, because if they'll come over here and try to do somebody else's job, well, here comes the counter or the bootleg back to you. So you got to teach that. You got to tell them. You got to make sure you get your points across about the why behind that, and understand that. And everybody's got to do their job. But it's deception. It's physical. It's ball control and taking care of the football. They don't ask them to. It's not very turnover prone. And when you got a quarterback like they do, who we played last year, who's going to be a really good football player. When you got him wheeling and dealing, it makes it go. And so it's definitely a challenge.
You talked about that quarterback, D.K. Wallace, the junior quarterback coach. I really like this kid when you look at him on tape. So what are some things that he does well that could give you fits this Thursday night?
You know, so I watched him coming up through our little 6th and 8th grade, 9th grade, and he was electric then. He's shifty. And can really run and explosive and elusive. Got a big arm. So you know you have to be patient playing this offense. You can't you know get lulled to sleep, because they live and thrive. You know, when you look at their productivity, it's because DBs or eyes are in the backfield. And you know, we talk about this all the time. We've talked about it all week. You've got to be alert at all times, because you run the ball 5, 6, 7 times, and all of a sudden the play action gets you, and now they're behind you and it's too late, and a big play has occurred. And he can make all those plays. He can pull it on bootlegs, and he can make the throws down the field. So we have to be patient, and we have to be alert, and we have to play in different levels. I think that's going to be really important to what we're doing.
Offense averaging 250 yards a game on the ground, led by wingback number 3, Cornelius Caraway. Really like him as well, 110 yards a game, 4 rushing touchdowns so far. You talked about the defense and the discipline, but let's talk about the defensive line and the discipline that you have to have with these wingbacks coming around, fullback dives, things of that nature. A big challenge for us this Friday night.
Yeah, you know, again, it's talking terminology that you just don't talk. We see it, you know, once or twice a year. Before we started playing Vicksburg and Ridgeland, you never saw it. And so trap and belly, and where they're using our athleticism and our speed up the field against us.
That's right.
And so we have to do a good job in being disciplined, and it's a different game. So, you know, we have TK, for example, is one of the most disruptive players, and we know they're going to try to trap him. And they might get him some, and TK might win some as well, because that's what he does. But we're going to have to be very disciplined in reading what our reads are. If I got a down block, I'm squeezing and hands on, and it's not we're taking rushing the passer out of the equation. We are down and dirty and hands on blocks, and so that's something that we've practiced on. I tell you, the hardest part, Brandon, is trying to prepare a scout team to run the wing tee. And I tell you where we got lucky is Coach Rob has been running the scout team quarterback with the wing tee and the motions and under center and all that. So he's given us a really good look along with our backs and things like that, but teaching them the nuances of it so we can get a look and we're not just blown away when game time comes around. So we appreciate that out of an old SEC quarterback.
Well, if you see Rob Morgan tomorrow night with an ice pack on, he was wearing a knee brace or a sleeve the other night.
Whatever it takes.
We've been beating him up, so that's good, getting some work out of him. So you talked about their defense, the Titan defense. They're yielding 10 points a game. They're led by two good ones. Middle linebacker, number 2, Nigel Lockett, and 16, Elijah Adams from his DN spot. They're combined for 82 tackles and 13 tackles for loss. Certainly a good duo. Yep. What makes this defense run so well over at Ridgeland?
So they're and Todd did a good job, Coach McDaniel at Vicksburg, of making defense your staple point. So you can tell when you run the wing T, you can tell what kind of identity you want from your football team. You want to run the ball, take care of the football. You want to control the clock, and then you want to play great defense, because you can't run that offense if you're not solid on defense, and people are getting 14, 21 points up on you. Then the wing T is useless.
That's right.
So you have to marry all three phases in to your identity and what you want your team to be. So to run a wing T and be efficient at it, you've got to be really stout on defense and teach it that way, and take a lot of pride in it. And that's what you're seeing here. They're going to be in a 4-2-5 type look. Those two middle linebackers that you mentioned are in the middle. There's going to be plays to be made. We've got to make them. We've got to block them. And they're going to be where they're supposed to be, and they're going to play really hard. And, Ridgeland's got some really good athletes.
Yeah, 10 points a game, that's nothing to blink an eye at. That's a good bunch. And let's talk about us for a minute. The Viking offense, we've had some moments. We've done really well, and we've had some times we struggled in third down conversion and closing out ball games. What do we need to do to improve on that going into region play? And I'm sure y'all put extra emphasis on that during the bye week.
Yeah, consistency is what we're after there. You've seen us really starting to turn a corner with Germantown and Pearl, really taking on that identity that we've been, after, and ran into two really good defenses with Brandon and with Madison, and you can see how what's come to hurt us there is turnovers, and a lot of it is us pressing too much, us taking or trying to make something happen when it's not there, and again, we have to do a better job of understanding that it's not bad to punt the ball away. It's not bad to use our defense. And again, we want to also be able to run the football, in situations where, that they know we're going to run it at, and be more efficient in that aspect. But I think we're getting some playmakers on the edges to kind of come along. Like I mentioned Mike earlier, we've got to do something to get eyes off of Maddox. He has become a focal point, like everybody has done. We run the ball behind him. We throw the ball to him a lot. So he's getting a lot of eyes and attraction on him. And we knew that. We know that's coming. But on the flip side of that, we've got to have other guys that can make plays and respect us away from him, to take pressure off of us in our passing game. Again, staying in front of the chains. We're so much better when we're in control and when we're throwing when we want to, not when we have to. And that's a really big deal. And Nash he has to do a better job of taking care of the football. And if it's not there to make the smart play, it may not necessarily be the play that he wants to make or the highlight play, but we've got to take a better job of taking care of the football and not setting them up for success, but allowing us to play behind our defense.
That's got to be the hardest thing as a coach. I know you're the head coach, but obviously Coach Rob handling a lot of that's got to be hard to get through a high school kid's head that it's okay to punt or it's okay to throw a football away. Getting that through to them, that's got to be difficult.
It goes back to being disciplined. You have a competitor and you want your guys to compete at a high level, and you want your quarterback to be confident in what he's doing and his players. But at the same time, we got to be really smart, and if it ain't there, don't force it, because again, that's how we want to play. We're really good when we don't turn the ball over. We're really good when we're able to stay in front of the chains. I mean, that's been a recipe that you can't deny. But also, if we are behind the chains, we've got to trust our quarterback in situations where we're going to try this. If it's not there, let's take the punt and be smart with it. So it's again a learning curve. Again, it's something that we can improve on if we will recognize it and fix it.
Well, opening game this Thursday night. We're usually on Friday night, obviously, but we're going to play on Thursday night. We also are in fall break, so you as a coaching staff, I know it drives you crazy for any type of change. How have you been able to adjust this week with an early game and then having fall break on top of that?
Yeah, so the off week, the bye week, I felt like our guys did a really good job. We took it very seriously. We got some guys healthy. We got better in some individual stuff, fundamental stuff, and then we got a head start on Ridgeland. And then it couldn't have come at a better time. We needed a break. We needed a break. We played 5 really hard games. I told our kids this. You know, it felt like we just came through a 7A playoff.
Yes.
Right out the gate. Or you can look at it as a 7A district schedule. But either way, that's a lot right out the gate. So we needed just a chance to heal up, just a good weekend off. So that was a great time for us. And now we're coming back on a short week, so it really doesn't affect us that much because we've had the week before it. And then you got fall break and you know, gave them Wednesday off. And again, trying to let them enjoy that and get away for a bit. And then playing on a Thursday. Then we have a Friday off after that. And I don't know what we're going to do about that yet. So we'll figure it out.
2 Fridays in a row off.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so injuries, you talked about injuries. Caleb Lane, like he's back. Chance Ward. How are we looking coming out of the bye?
We're looking good. Looking good. We got our guys back. We were able to rest EJ a little bit over the break. We had a couple ankle sprains that we were able to, you know, to kind of take off and get them on the bike and get them treatment, and kept some guys out of contact during the week, and so we're in a really good spot for our guys being healthy, and very thankful for that, and hopefully we can continue that.
So now you got a lot going on. So let's close this out. What are the keys to victory against this Titan bunch?
Well, you know, what we're going after is us, and again, you know, we want to look a certain way offensively. We've had to sit on. We've lost 2 games back to back. That hasn't happened in a while. And
right.
2 really good football teams again, but we are too, and so we need to get back on track, quick, fast, and in a hurry, Brandon. We need to get back and make sure that our confidence is where it needs to be. Consistency is what we're after offensively. I feel like if we'll do that, we'll have a good night. And then defensively, we're going to have to tackle well and absolutely no big plays. You know, we've been and we're working really hard on it. We've been a feast or famine type of defense. It's almost like your home runner hitter who's either going to strike out or he's going to hit a home run. We're making plays. We're creating turnovers. We're making sacks, but we're giving up too many big plays. And we can't do that. We can't do that. And you know, we have tried all things, and we will continue to try to find ways to get better, put our guys in those situations, talk about it in the film room, put it out there and give them. But we got to be playmakers back there. We can't let balls be thrown over our head or missed tackles on the back end. That's going to be important, not only for tonight, but for us moving forward. You give up big plays, you're putting, you know, the game in somebody else's hands. And we've always done a really good job with that, and I'm looking forward to getting that fixed. So hopefully we can do those things, Brandon, be really good offensively and consistent. I feel like our special teams can help us win this football game. I don't feel like they've seen a punter or kicker quite like ours in the return game that I want to take advantage of, and be really good on defense as far as eliminating big plays and tackling well.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you. I'm excited about it.
Thank you.
Actually, have some football weather now, so
yeah.
It's been nice. So before we close out, though, we also wanted to congratulate our 9th grade program. So they closed out their season. Matt Williams runs that program. Jeff Scott, Wayne Lynch. Who all am I missing? Matt Brewer. I can forget Matt Brewer. He's going to get me for that. Outstanding guys. They do a great job for us as well. As we talked about, it's our farm program here at Warren Central. Starts with Lewis Green, comes up with Matt Williams, and it ends up in these guys' hands. But it's a great job by those guys at our 9th grade program as well this year.
No doubt. There's one thing that has been the biggest factor for our programs, tradition-rich, successful program, is our coaches, our coaching staff, and the consistency that we've been able to have with it. You're talking about just good men that love not just our kids and not just the football, but this school and this program. And that's so special, Brandon. These don't happen everywhere. We're very blessed to have that family right there that they know. And we're starting to coach our players' kids.
That's right.
Like, that's unbelievable, but that's the consistency that we've been so blessed to have, and we don't take that for granted, and we love our coaches and what they put in and invest, and it means the world to them. Not only that WC, but they love our players, and our players love them, and that's a special thing.
Yeah, well said. But yeah, congratulations to Coach Green. We'll talk with him more, and then Coach Williams. So proud of you guys. So glad to have you on our side. Like I said, you do such a great job for our school, our community, and you help our kids. And I'm in debt to you. Again, you coached my son. You coached his son.
Yep.
So we're in debt to you, and we love you. So, but we're going to close out this week. We're going to go to Ridgeland this Thursday night. Next week, we will come back. We will talk about go across town to Vicksburg, the big rivalry, but a region game. But we'll talk about that next week. But until then, we hope to see you this Thursday night. Come over to Ridgeland and support us. But we'll talk to you next week. But until then, rise up, Vikings.